I love Swamp Thing. He is beautiful. He is a wonderful... I'm going to stop now before I...
She ate a piece of his cucumber and had an acid trip. I don't even know, Leah. And welcome to Library Grindhouse. The only ticket you need is your library card. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah. And today we'll be giving you our top 5 reasons why to watch the 1989, I guess, sequel to Swamp Thing, Return of Swamp Thing.
Why not start with the second? So, Leah, why don't you hit him with that spoiler-free plot summary?
When Abby returns home seeking answers surrounding her mother's mysterious death, she stumbles upon the disastrous genetic mutations created by her mad scientist stepfather, Dr. Arcane. So who comes running when a plant-loving, vegetarian, pretty lady is in distress? None other than the lovable, benevolent, hunka, nature elemental creature himself, Swamp Thing. I love Swamp Thing.
Yeah. All right, Leah. I mean, if you can narrow it to 5, what is your number 5 on your list of reasons to watch this film?
It was really difficult. Mind you, I will just put a quick blip in there. I do like the first one better. This one was a lot more fun. Was more comic booky, but. So, the first one is a house somehow slowly exploding room by room, and then a shot of stepping back and the house exploding again. It was great. If you love explosions, this movie's for you.
There's a lot of explosions. A lot of explosions. But like, I was shocked.
A house being able to explode and then go back in time and then explode again. That was a good one.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, why not?
I mean, why not? If you can do it, why not? I mean, I feel like it was on fire when they left. Like there's flames.
Maybe. And I think it started in the basement.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was a Lawnmower Man thing of like the explosions are going off like all behind them. And it's like, how many more explosions are there? And then the whole thing just goes up once they get out because they have to get out first.
And I want to know why there's like a rolling explosion. Like explosion, 5 seconds. Down the line. Explosion, 5 seconds, down the line. And it's in a house, so...
Because that's just how movies work, Leah, is the explosion trail.
But, I mean, you do get to see Swamp Thing running out of a house in all of his glory. It's great.
Okay.
What's your number 5?
My number 5? Opening credits, CCR, Credence. Starting it off with Credence. I mean, Born on a Bayou is kind of on the nose, but it worked and it played over comic book images of Swamp Things, and they had a mid-credit scene. I mean, this thing, like, before Marvel was doing it, even before DC was doing it, I mean, this is 89, so Batman came out this year and, of course, completely overshadowed this film. But, I mean, the fact that, yeah, they had all this stuff that is now like a hallmark of movies where you open with the comic panels to get you in that mood of, like, we're watching a comic book movie, and it's filmed in Georgia.
Yeah.
All comic book movies are pretty much filmed in Georgia now. Like, this is, I mean, it was almost forward thinking in a way. Like, I mean, it was wild. I was just like, wait, what? This feels very familiar now of just like, oh, this is what a comic book movie is. In this regard. Yes. But anyway, that was my number 5. What's number 4?
My number 4 was the comics in the pre-movie credits.
Hey! All right.
It just set up the movie. And yeah,
it just gets you ready for the ride.
It's wonderful. And I love the fact this movie actually does feel like a comic book in motion. Like you're watching, it has that like tongue-in-cheek kind of goofiness. I know that they went way over the top. It won a Razzie Award for Worst Actress. Like,
look, you want nice? I can give you nice. It's just kind of tough from behind bars.
It is what it is, but it's Swamp Thing and it's beautiful.
I feel like it's like what everyone thought a comic book movie was supposed to be. Just like, hey guys, this is supposed to be goofy.
It is.
And that's not necessarily what comics necessarily are, especially in 89. Like, we've had dark Batman, even dark Swamp Thing. Didn't Alan Moore's Swamp Thing comics come out before this movie?
Yes,
So, and those were like more serious.
No, they were darker and serious. But I feel like a lot of people don't understand, like, how are we able to get this woman to love this planet creature?
It was just like, guys, I mean... This is a comic book. Like, this is like just I know, Leah. I know. Believe me, I know.
I love Swamp Thing. I'm just going to keep on saying it.
I mean, I know what would happen if he broke off his cucumber for you.
It would be wonderful. It would be great. It was wonderful. That whole scene, too, was kind of weird, too, because that wasn't the same Swamp Thing. Like, that wasn't the same Dr. Alec Holland that was in the first movie, which I kind of was upset by.
Wait, you're telling me Dick DeRock?
He was the same Swamp Thing creature, but the guy who played Dr.
Play him?
No, he didn't play Dr. Alec Holland. They had a different guy.
Oh, in this movie.
In the first movie, they had Dr. Alec Holland be played by a different guy than Dick DeRock, who played Swamp Thing. Like they had two different people.
Dick DeRock played Swamp Thing in both movies.
Yes, but then when she ate the magical fruit, that was not Dr. Alec Holland. They had Dick DeRock just play the same person.
So he was like, I'll be in this one, but I got to have a scene.
Yeah, where I'm not green. Yeah, essentially.
My number 4, why can't men be more like plants?
Why can't men be more like plants? I mean, you can stroke a plant and it doesn't get the wrong idea.
I know it's on the poster, I guess, but man, that quote, I mean, Heather Locklear, her performance was kind of campy, but I didn't necessarily think it was bad, like, if you know what I mean.
I think she was trying to work with what she had, and she was still young.
And I relatively bought that she was falling for this dude way too quick.
Yeah, oh yeah.
To a degree.
I will say, yeah.
It was a little weird. I didn't quite buy it as much as I should have, I guess. I don't know. What's your number 3, Leah?
My number 3 is the 90s, early 80s nostalgia of the entire film. I love the fact that you get the MTV logo.
Oh, gosh.
You get the kids being kids and, like, getting into mischief and just the whole thing. The whole vibe of it instantly took me back to my childhood. Late 80s, early 90s movie. Return of Swamp Thing.
Late night basic cable, but they put it in theaters.
Yeah,
so it's just one of those things where, I mean, it should have just stuck to late night cable, but they, for some reason, put it in theaters.
But they put it in theaters because it was, my birth year, so they knew. Oh.
I guess, yeah.
What's your number 3, Jesse?
Bad Guys, James Bond Lair, and Gene Slicing Experiments. I was mildly impressed with the makeup effects. Like, I wasn't mad at it. Like, I wasn't looking for zippers and seams, but overall, kind of solid, kind of fun. And the James Bond lair was just ridiculously over the top and cool. It's kind of a cheat, but those creatures are also in this lair, so I feel like it's kind of works together. But I mean, even the Swamp Thing costume, I was like, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I think that green dude's good.
Especially because they filmed a decent amount of it at night, which helps it out a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
Even in the daytime scene, I'm like, yeah, he looks like Swamp Thing. I mean,
I agree with that. That suckerfish monster was horrifying. Yeah, it was horrifying. So my number 2 are the children. We have Omar and Daryl. They are hysterical.
Oh my gosh,
they are innocently captivating in the most childish of ways. Like, it just makes me want to go back to being a kid. Mind you, I was never that bad of a kid, and I wouldn't do half the things that they did.
What a great fire! Shut up! They got my mom's cartoon!
But even down to their little quips of just like,
Good grief, I could be home watching cable.
wanting a picture with Swamp Thing because they know it'll be like $10,000 and just everything. They are perfect. They don't know that they're getting into so much trouble, or they don't know that they're, in harm's way whatsoever. Right. They're just having fun in the swamp, messing with each other, ribbing each other.
All right.
What's your number 2, Jesse?
It is the Bayou Post front page image of the boys saved by Swamp Thing with the headline, "Local Resort Goes Boom." I love it. And I'm going to do a bonus, number 2. Swamp Thing Jack Frosting into the lair through the bathtub with the Lurch-style organ, with Dr. Arcane literally playing the organ.
Yep.
In the mansion. I couldn't pick between those two. Those two moments were just surreal. And so basically the kids were pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Great. The chubbier boy was a little annoying, but he was also hilarious. I mean, just him plowing through all their snacks in like 2 seconds. And
you know them ho-hos before you eat them all up.
yeah, they were both really funny. And I enjoyed their presence.
I do find it funny that Dr. Arcane played the organ. Like, I just feel like...
What even am I watching? Like, this is definitely USA up all night.
Yeah.
I mean, completely. I mean, late night cable, if you watch it on that level, like, it's a good time.
It is. Yeah.
What's your number one reason to watch this movie?
My number one reason is because, just Swamp Thing. I could go on for days about Swamp Thing. Allow me to rephrase, okay? So the graphics might be bad. You just have to get past that, okay? It is still just Swamp Thing. It is DC's most underrated character who needs a lot of love. He just needs to rise above the bog, jump into America's hearts, especially mine. So if you're watching Mr. Swamp Thing, hello. But seriously, it's just because I said so. Swamp Thing's amazing. Because I said so, hands down. Because I said so.
It's more underrated than Blue Beetle?
No. Okay, you're right. But still.
I mean, there's a deep DC roster of creatures, things, heroes.
But Swamp Thing being one of the biggest ones, especially in the early 90s. Like, we had the Swamp Thing animated series. We had Wes Craven's Swamp Thing.
None of it liked.
But that's the thing. I don't know why it's not liked, because it's beautiful.
And then his new show was canceled unceremoniously. But
that was COVID, mind you. Well, semi-COVID. It's beautiful. Yes, I'm going to plug that too, because if you haven't seen that, everyone should watch the new show. It had raving reviews. Everyone loved it. He is beautiful. He is a wonderful... I'm going to stop now before I... What's your number one, Jesse? Hi, Mr. Swamp.
I guess because I said so. I mean, the movie's a campy treat that works well enough even if you haven't seen the first movie, which I have not seen, the Wes Craven classic? ?
It is a classic.
If you're old enough to remember USA Up All Night, or just want a goofy, fun movie, get down to the swamp. I don't think you'll regret it entirely.
You won't regret it. You'll be extremely happy about it.
I'm giving this to Leah because Swamp Thing means a lot to her.
I love Swamp Thing.
And I don't fully understand it. I don't know if I want to. And that's okay. I'm glad she loves Swamp Thing. We need to love things.
I do.
And more love is better than less.
That is true. So
yeah,
everyone go home and mist your plants and, just...
Give them names. Give them name tags, like Heather Locklear. Yes. But I was a little like, girl, you okay?
She went above and beyond, and she jumped into the Swamp Thing boat a little too fast. It's great.
It's not a good movie. It's a great movie.
You need to watch it.
Rip off junk food cinema. And yeah, it's a good time. So head on over to Hoopla to find out for yourself by checking it out for free there. And for Library Grindhouse, I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.